When radio was raw and wild, PJ was in charge. Producing radio and TV for some of the greats in the industry, PJ has seen it all. From Disco Duck to What the F***. This is Streaming Legends with PJ.
Yo, today on the podcast, we have my buddy Richard Halpern, and he is one of the most incredible vocal impressionists you'll ever meet. The guy has done Austin Powers, Sean Connery, Sean Penn, you name it, Pee Wee Herman, the ultimate Pee Wee Herman. He looks like him, he talks like him. He used to do it for an ABC show. He talks about all that. He talks about his years and the commercials we did with him for Kiss FM as Austin Powers, meeting Nancy Sinatra. There's so much to get through with him, and we do it quick. We're going to have fun with it. So let's go right now and meet Richard on Streaming Legends. Hey, look at who is here. My favorite guy, Richard Halpern. How are you, my friend?
Oh, thank you. I'm great. Paul Joseph.
Yes, sir.
PJ the DJ.
That's it. That's it.
It's been a long time.
It's been too long. It has been too long.
And listen, what's your secret? You have not aged.
Well,
at all.
There's a lot of filters on these cameras, and there's a lot of stuff going on. But no, and listen, in this business, as you know, Richard, look at you. You look exactly the same. You can't age. You have to stay vital, young. The good news is both of us started like 25 years ago. We were very young, so that was our saving grace. So that kept us looking young now. Because we're not as old as we would appear.
Right. So what you're saying is that we both have these paintings in the attic that are aging and,
yeah, they're just crumbling. They're crumbling right now. Completely.
Yes.
Where are you? Where are you broadcasting from there?
I am in Hollywood, California, from my home, which is known in some circles as the Hollywood Penthouse.
Okay.
Because I turned this into a studio. Well, not this view, but there's another view. But now, because the sun is coming in, you just see a shadow.
Yes.
But I do live singing shows because of the pandemic. Right. I started broadcasting from home, doing live singing shows from this place, all 1920s and 30s. And we did that for 2 years. I still do it maybe once a month.
Now you do that. You've done so much. With our show, of course, you did so many characters,
Oh, yes.
Huge characters. Very funny stuff. Austin Powers, which we'll get into, you did that. You were the top guy in that field. You did a very funny Sean Connery, which was so funny.
Yes, Sean Connery. Yes, Sean. Yes. Listen, I'm sitting here speaking with Paul Joseph. And I enjoy sitting here listening to Paul. Yes.
Yes. You said you're sitting, or?
No, that's what I'm said. I'm shitting.
Okay, you're shitting right there. Yeah,
yes,
and that was our joke always. You would call us up on the show and you'd say you're shitting in traffic. And I'd always get on the phone, I remember, and say, make sure you say the word shitting. Don't say sitting. Say shitting. That's what.
But
then you'd say,
But here's how the joke worked, though, because Rick never said you're sitting. He'd say, because you don't say sit. We're doing it because of what we're doing now.
Right.
But Rick would say, I'd say, I'm shitting here.
That's
and Rick would say, you're what?
Yes.
You're what?
You're
and
what?
I said, I'm shitting here. Because if you say sitting,
that ruins it.
Blows it up. Yeah. But
yeah.
That's one of the many things Rick taught me.
Mm-hmm.
He taught me everything about comedy and about this. And you say this, you don't say this. And I learned so much. From him.
He's the master, and and one day soon he's going to join us on this show. That's going to be fun.
Oh, I can't wait.
He's coming. But the other thing is, you'd call in as Sean, and we'd ask you questions, and it all revolved around that same joke. We'd say, so what bank do you bank at now, Sean?
Yes, I bank at the Shitty Bank.
Of course you do. Yeah, where else?
In Temple City.
It was one after another. It was great stuff, And you did Sean Penn. You were one of the few that did a Sean Penn. You did him really well back in the day when he was that bratty guy.
Right. And the interesting thing about that is, what does Sean Penn sound like? Nobody knows what he sounds like.
Nobody
because
knows.
He always speaks so quietly and brooding and this. And what I based my interpretation of it was from the film At Close Range, where in one scene he's got a gun and he's pointing it and he goes, "Shut up, just shut up, shut up." You know, I figured, you know what? I'm going to use that. So I'm going to start it by, yeah, this is Sean Penn, and I'm going to be very quiet like this, and and then I go, "Shut up, Ricky, just shut up, Ricky." But that doesn't sound anything like Sean Penn. But we created this whole radio persona of this bit with him doing that and then screaming and going off, and he's married to Madonna, and he hit her with he hit the prowler with the salad dressing bottle, and he's in jail and the jacuzzi and all that stuff we played off of.
All that anger. It was so funny because we always knew when you called as Sean, it was going to get to that anger. That's what was fun, and the audience loved it because they were just waiting for you to get there with that screaming and stuff. Right? And the truth of the matter is, I live close to La Scala restaurant where I would go in for lunch sometimes, and there would sit, back in the day, Madonna and Sean Penn, and they would be screaming at each other. And I mean, I would always think of you because they're screaming and yelling at each other, and they didn't care. There's a whole room full of people. It's kind of the outside patio, and they're screaming at each other, and it just went on and on and on. I mean, but it always reminded me, of course, of you and your bit. It was great. It was really funny.
Funny.
I'd have to look twice. Is that Sean over there, or is that Richard Halpern? I don't know.
Yeah, we look so much alike.
You look identical.
Remember when I did it at Wally George?
Yes.
Remember we all came down and I had this wig and this dark glasses, and
that was fun.
And Madeline, who looked like Madonna. Remember Madeline was one of the writers?
Madeline Minch.
Yes, and she kind of was like Madonna, and we were standing by in case and then we kind of got up. There was some fight went on that they, but if you dig back,
Wally George was that local character that he was on Channel 52. We called it the Snow
56.
Channel. 56, the Snow Channel, because you could barely see it on the old TVs. It was just kind of all snowy. So
yes,
they hated that. They hated that we called it the Snow Channel.
Well, it's true. UHF. We don't have UHF anymore.
What is that? I mean,
I know. We had VHF.
Is that a rabbit? I think that's a rabbit antenna or something.
It's right. You have with the antenna, a coat hanger with tin foil.
Wow. I still see that on a few trailers around.
I'm sure. So do I. I see it on a few people around. But that station is still on. It's KDOC. It is on a cable or satellite, whatever, and it's still there's no more snow.
Right. No.
We'd be happy to know there's no
cable.
Yeah, cable, satellite, whatever.
Digital.
And, they still run those old Wally George shows.
That's amazing. And you remember whose father he was, right?
Yes, Rebecca De Mornay.
That's right. That was his, and they didn't speak.
No, and it's interesting because Paul, when he off stage was a totally different guy.
Yeah.
Off stage. On camera. Now let's get some of these people that don't know Wally George. This was like the conservative voice of television. Right. And he's screaming and he's like, "I want you to know, and Ronald Reagan, and I want," and he'd throw the guests off and he'd have fights, whatever. But off stage, he was kind of like this. Yeah. Just very kind of quiet, man. Like he was very quiet.
He was.
And one time, but you could tell when he was really angry or if he was faking it. If he was faking it, he'd be doing this and that. But one time he came on and he was talking about Rebecca De Mornay, and he went, I gave her everything. And you could, it's a whole other persona because it was quiet and stuff. But
you're right. And to go back even a little further, Rebecca De Mornay, who's a great actress, and she played across from Tom Cruise in the movie.
Yeah, in Risky Business.
Risky Business. She was the hooker in that show, that beautiful girl. And, my introduction to her, off of what you're saying with Wally George, is we had him in studio, and we had him many times, and he's a great guy. But he went outside to our outside lines, right outside the studio where, everybody calls in, and he's sitting down, he's on the phone, and he's kind of arguing, but low, and you see him put the hold button. He says, "Paul, could you talk to my daughter and kind of tell her I'm a good guy?" And that was my introduction to meeting her. I went on and I said, I thought he was kind of joking because at that time I didn't know. And I'm on with her and I'm going, "Great to meet you. Love your movie. It's Tom Cruise and all that." And I said, he's a wonderful guy. We love Wally here and this and that. And she was kind of going, yeah. I mean, she didn't, I don't know. Hopefully now I don't know if is Wally still living?
Oh, he's gone. No, he passed away years ago.
I hope they reconciled before.
Yeah,
he passed.
I would hope that they would.
Yeah. But that was just one of the many things we go through, right? With these shows and meeting people and everything. And
oh God,
your ups and downs with Pee Wee Herman. You did the best Pee Wee Herman of anybody. I mean, we used you live. We used you, at events. We did everything with you, dressed as Pee Wee. And do you have any kind of a picture? I don't have a picture of Pee Wee.
I do. I have a photograph on the wall. They did a revival of Love American Style, calling it The New Love American Style. It was on ABC, and I played a Pee Wee Herman lookalike at a dating service.
You were him.
Yeah, and I came in and I just go, but let me show. Hold on a second. I got to take this off the wall.
No, I'm asking him to rip this thing off the wall, but when people see you as Pee Wee,
you know what? I'm gonna take this one too, just in case.
Okay, bring them on.
Another surprise for you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we're gonna hold this up like this, and see if we can see.
Oh yeah, there's a little reflection there, but we kind of see. Yeah. We see it. Yeah, that's great.
That's me as Pee Wee.
And that's on the ABC show, the TV show. Yeah.
Here's the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I can see it there.
And this one lady, God, I forgot her name. She went to become a writer on Young and Restless. And the other lady I met after 30 years. We happened to run into each other. Carol Goldman. I remember that one other woman.
Wow.
But I forget the name of the other Meg.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I have that. But look how tiny I was. Christ, I was tiny. I kind of looked like a baby.
And then this other picture, is that the one?
Oh yes, this other picture. This is what brought me to Rick Dees.
Okay.
This voice. Well, I'm very proud of this hospital, and I'm proud to be a woman. And before I see you destroy it with your petty tyranny, I will recommend to the medical board that they throw you out in the street. You macho poo-poo head. Yeah.
Oh, that's Tootsie from Dustin Hoffman, right?
Yes, Tootsie. Yes, of course.
Yes. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, that was great stuff. That was another character. And that's how you got to the show, because that character. I know.
That's how I got to the show. I called in. I was driving to college, and I'm hearing all these radio shows, and I turn the dial, and I hear somebody being Zsa Zsa Gabor or something. Wait, is that Zsa Zsa Gabor? What is this? And it's the Rick Dees in the morning. And I said, wait, that's a character. That's somebody doing the voice of. It was Julie. It must have been Julie Dees. You know. And I thought, I can do that. So I was doing imitations, and I was doing Tootsie, and I called in randomly on the request lines. This is back when you could get in on those.
Right.
And they put me through to Rick. He recorded that phone call. We did a whole bit, and he added music. He did this stuff, and he kept playing it over and over. And I recorded it off. I had this big tape recorder, it wasn't even a boom box. It was this big thing, and I was running around. Listen, I'm on the radio. Listen, he's going to play it again. And that's how it started. And then
I remember.
Yeah. Well, you listen, Paul.
That was me. Yeah.
You were there every exchange that happened in the 20 years or so. Well, Jack Silver came in later on, but for the bulk of it, you were standing right either beside him, beside Rick, or behind him. You heard everything that went on, and you were a witness to all this stuff. Somebody called me and said, "Can you do Tootsie in person? Can you do it live?" And I went, yeah, okay, I can do it." And then that's what you what we put together is that. And then this was at this place called McCormick's Landing in somewhere in Orange County. I don't even know if it's still there.
I remember that place.
Yeah, well, they had the Kiss FM weekend warm-up. Remember those weekend warm-ups?
Oh, yeah, every Thursday.
Yeah, so I came down actually, I changed in the broom, literally a broom closet. It was this big, and I put this stuff on, and they led me to the stage through the crowd. People are cheering because they thought I was Rick.
You're right.
Because at that time, not everybody knew what he looked like.
Right.
You see. And when I first met him, he had come to my college. I was in it was 1983, Cal State Long Beach. And I think this was my junior year. And he came to, we had like a job fair or a career day or something where they had tables set up all outside. And so here comes Rick Dees. And I'm expecting, this big guy, with this deep, this young, good looking little guy with big blue eyes. He looks like a baby.
Right.
Handsome guy. And hey, yes, I'm Rick Dees. And I said, I'm Tootsie. I'm the one that does Tootsie on. Oh, Rick. And he said, hey, this man does Tootsie on our show. And he invited me to come down to do IDs, and which I did. I came down there on Sunset, 6255 Sunset. I still have a lot of the swag that I got, bumper stickers and stuff. But that's what started it, was that.
Right. And then from there, we went on, of course, to, I think, your most famous character, the one you do now all over, and you're well known for, is Austin Powers. And of course, we did a commercial with you on that as well. There he is right there. That's Austin. That's not Austin Powers. That's not Mike Myers. That is you. I mean, that's amazing.
Richard Halpern, baby.
Richard Halpern, baby. And I don't know where you got those teeth, but they're perfect.
Oh, I'll tell you where I got the teeth. The man who made the teeth for the movie made them for me. Gary Archer made the teeth for all of the Austin Powers films. He's made all the famous movie teeth, starting with Mrs. Doubtfire, Blade, Interview with the Vampire. It's just a body of work. And his thing, he's not just a prosthetic special effects guy. He's an actual dental technician.
Right.
And he makes dentures, and in addition to being the leading one in the industry. And so he made those teeth for me.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the commercial.
Yes.
They made a billboard.
Oh, yes, we did.
Out of the commercial.
Yeah.
There it is.
Bring it right there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's
$750. We were doing Win a Million, and we had that commercial with Ellen Kay and Rick and everybody. And we tied in IHOP, and remember Rick's flipping pancakes at the end. It's really funny.
It was hysterical, and JoJo was there. And, and you notice the suit I'm wearing, this is the actual blue striped suit from the movie.
Oh, yeah.
We rented it from Palace Costume, which is gone, and that suit is gone. Somebody bought it. It's auctioned off.
Yeah.
I could have had it for $10,000. They said there's a $10,000 bond on this. I said, if I had $10,000 to throw away, I would have walked off with that damn thing.
Your exact words were, if I had $10,000, I wouldn't be here doing this right now.
I didn't say, I would never say. But do you remember how strange everybody, I said, where's Rick? How come Rick isn't here? And they said, oh, well, he's coming. He may come later. And then I find out that they wanted people to think that Austin was Rick.
Right.
And then I said, oh, are you kidding? Really? And that was so funny.
Yeah.
But they made that billboard. The commercial was great. I'm sure I have it on tape somewhere. You were kind enough to let me come and do the voiceover because someone else had done a voiceover. I said, Paul, please let me do the voice, please. And
absolutely.
So we
absolutely.
did it.
That's the only way we did it.
That was totally fun. But that character, out of all the Kiss FM stuff, that came way later.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't really do a whole lot of stuff until it was actually the second movie. When the second movie came out in 1999, Spy Who Shagged Me, it was Rick who said, Richard, I want you at, was it Kiss and Unite or was it Wango Tango?
No, it's Kiss and Unite. We hadn't changed the name yet.
Because it was Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
And the movie had just opened. This was on a Saturday. They did this concert and the movie had just opened the night before. And Rick said, I want you there. I want you to be there. So I show up, I'm dressed, and who's on the bill? Nancy Sinatra.
Right.
So I figure, oh, these boots are made for walking. That's in the movie. That's one of the Fembot songs is. So I go into the wing, the wings, whatever. And I'm looking at her on stage, and her people, these publicists.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, it's always the publicist.
Oh, they're like glue. They're like glue. Get them off me.
Exactly. Says, oh, you're not going out there. Oh, no. Oh, you're not going out there. Oh, no, you're not going out. So Nancy Sinatra looks, she sees me and she says, come. So I come out. And of course, this Dodger Stadium goes nuts because they think it's Mike Myers, or they think it's awesome. I said, oh, have you seen my new movie at the Spider Shack? It opened last night, baby. Don't forget to see it, love. Yeah. All right. And that we had fun. We took pictures and all that. So, Paul, I don't even know if you know this. I came into the station on Monday for some promotional, because I was always in there doing something with promotion. Right. And I'm hearing over the radio, they're playing KTLA, or no, they're playing the KTLA morning news.
Yeah.
And I guess it was Carlos and he says, it talked about the concert. Oh, it had great Wango or Kissing Night, whatever. And Mike Myers showed up as Austin Powers. I went, wait, did you guys hear that?
I remember that. Yeah.
I said, the Mona Lapidus, Mona, that was me, you know. So I call my voiceover agent, Vanessa Gilbert, Mark Kriske, who's the weatherman.
He still is.
He still is. We're both clients at the same voiceover. I tell Vanessa what happened. I said, she says, oh, you better talk to Mark Kriske, you know, because I said, can you give me his number? So I called Mark Kriske, tell him the same thing. I said, Mark, that wasn't Austin, that was me. He goes, oh, that's great. Hey, you want to come down and do it on the show? You know. So I came down on KTLA morning. There's the biggest.
I remember that.
And they had a chyron for me, and they said, oh, now Austin, don't you have a phone number or something? And I said, I do, but some of you are going to be really surprised. And then it says, Richard Halpern, the fake Austin Powers, and it had my voicemail. Well, my phone went crazy. I got all these gigs from it. And the following year, we did it again, and I wore the red suit, and I was there because Rick had said, I want Richard there for this, and that's what happened. But
it's a great story.
It's a springboard. I mean, Paul, Rick Dees is responsible. Anything that I did with Austin that eventually led to this, he's responsible because he's the one that put me in the spotlight of getting this kind of attention.
Absolutely.
He's given me everything. I owe him everything. He always supported me. He supported, I had my own little radio show on AM 900. What was it? Or 11? No, yeah, it was AM 900. And it was just a KGRB. It was in a house in West Covina. Yeah. This little house. And you would have cracked up the seat. And they were selling time, like 75 bucks. So, all right, I get 4 sponsors, 25 bucks, and I make 100. Oh, big. And I did this for about 6 months until they sold the station. And Rick bought time. He came on with Crystal Breath. He had the mints. Right. And he sent me the cart, you know, the tape for the cassette thing for the
little march, the music march that with Crystal Breath. It was a music march. He actually developed that music himself. You remember that?
Yeah,
Crystal Breath march.
Yes, and then he would put it on a cart, you know, and we just played that in their cart machine, and we had pre-recorded commercials because the other commercials I did myself. I made up the commercials myself. I record. And then he also announced for the show. Yeah. I came down to the studio, and of course I had this tape recorder, and he goes, no. And he's on the board, and he says, it's Tin Pan Alley with Richard Halpern. This is Rick. And he just did that. I mean, I'm telling you, that's amazing. I owe him so much.
He's a great guy. He's helped a ton of people, you know, and he always was supportive. We had a big crew, as you know, and we had a lot of voice actors.
We did.
And many of them went on to big things like yourself because of that show and the success of that show and Rick's pushing them and all of that. So it was really, really nice to know that everyone's doing well off that, you know.
Yeah.
And you're doing movie stuff too now too, right?
Well, yeah, I've been doing movie stuff kind of all along, little things, but there's 2 movies right now. One is actually out. It's an independent film. It's called Mondo Hollywoodland. And I think it's streaming on Amazon Prime. And it's very strange. It's independent. It's got 1 million people in it, all these different things. And it's funny. And it's really strange. I play a 75-year-old Antifa person who was big in the 60s in San Francisco. And I wore my father's glasses, which have now broken in the head. and I had this hoodie and this gray wig, and I was talking like this, and it's funny. We did some improv in it. We did the scripting stuff was good. And I've seen it like twice so far. Then there's another movie that we did a while back, but I'm waiting for it to be released. It's a biography of Mary Pickford. And it too is an independent film, and it's done in a very performance art style, almost like not Cronenberg. What was the other person who did? He directed Valentino, and I'm forgetting the name of this. He's very stylized director. He directed The Boyfriend. This is back in the 60s and 70s, and that's what this film was like. It's got all kinds of images, and I play Sam Goldwyn. Oh, the movie mogul.
Movie mogul. Wow, that's a heavy character.
Scenes with and this young lady who plays Mary Pickford. She looks just like her.
Yeah.
And Sophie Kennedy Clark. She's from the UK. Wow. And she did a great job.
Well, I want to see that one. Let us know when that comes out.
Oh, hell yes. I want to see it. I saw it once. No, I've seen it a few times, but I saw it once. They did it at the Ace Theater in downtown, the United Artists. That was Mary Pickford's theater.
Right.
And there's murals all over the wall of her and her crew. So they showed it there. They had this big house, and it was really great to see it on a big screen. And I'll tell you something, I got the only laugh in the film.
There you go.
The whole people laughed, and they didn't laugh at anything else because it's not a comedy, but I said something funny.
Well, that's a big character. I think his grandson, is it Tony?
Yeah.
Tony Goldwyn. Yeah.
The whole family is.
He's an actor. He does really well. He's quite an actor.
Sure.
So no, that's great. Well, Richard, you have had an amazing career so far. I know you got a lot more. You look amazing.
Oh, you're kind. Thank you. Oh, stop it.
I know. I can go on for another 10 minutes about it. But you got your gun showing. You must do an arm workout and everything. That's good.
Well,
what kind of a workout do you do?
Well, I haven't been doing it enough because the COVID, I'm kind of trepidatious about heading back to the gym. I've just started going back a little bit, and I'm big up here, but the problem is there's a little bit here, which I don't like. But it's if I make this bigger, then no one's gonna notice it. You see?
It's all
you
dimensions.
See how to get around it?
It's all perspective. You just get you get enough up top, and then you look skinny down at the bottom.
Exactly. Yeah, but I'm gonna be losing this and this. It's going away.
That is so great. Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on today with us. I mean, seriously, enjoyed
Paul,
this.
Thank you. And listen, you are also someone who is responsible for my growth and my career stuff. Because look, you told me you and Jack and Rick all told me like it was. You praised me with the stuff you praised, but when I screwed up with you said, you guys, you can't do. And I learned. Good. And I got tough love. I got this kind of love from all, and it has made me a better professional, made me a better artist and stuff like this. And listen, you're just as much part of that journey, Paul, like I said.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a joy, and it's really fun working with you, and you're an amazing talent. We always had fun with you. So
yes,
thank you for being you, buddy.
Well, thank you, sir.
Seriously. Yes. And we will see you soon. Hopefully you'll come back on again with us sometime. Yeah,
let me know. I'll be happy to come back on.
All right. Take care, Richard. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Hey.
Signing off.
Take care, buddy. So long.
Right. See ya.
Thanks for listening to Streaming Legends with PJ. Make sure to subscribe and leave a rating and review. And don't forget to recommend the show to a friend. For more podcasts and online content, go to thisisfunner.com.